I heard there was some weird-ass shit that happened between Muda and Nux. I was going to look into it, but the video was deleted and delisted. But I heard there was something about lollies and, oh, God. They won. They beat me. They did. They absolutely did. It is so insane. And it is just simply not worth the headache because these people will go through 5 years, 6 years of your content and find any clip and attempt to twist it in whatever way to make it seem like, yeah, this guy likes anime kids too. So here's the issue. I had a lengthy discussion with Rev, because Rev made a call-out post on me for quote-unquote being a lolicon many, many, many moons ago. And I responded to him in DMs, and he admitted that what he said was skewed, was at a certain point misinformation. However, he didn't post down, even though he knows that now he knows why what happened, and the real clarity of what actually happened. Everybody knows I'm a gooner, and a couple years ago, I was following thousands, not an exaggeration, thousands of porn accounts. One of them, of the thousands, converted from making normal adult hentai into lollycock porn. I didn't notice it. Someone on the internet picked up on it, and then all of a sudden, oh, look what he's looking at. It's disgusting. When in reality, if you go back, you'll find like characters like post-time skip Yoko Littner sucking a dick. Followed it for one post, and then all of a sudden, you're responsible for everything they post at the other time. It is the biggest stretch of the imagination whatsoever. I was called a hypocrite. It's just simply not true. And I don't know why people want to make it seem like it's not true, because if I was mentally delusional enough to actually be into this shit, I would just say it. Nux says he's so big, he could deplatform. Rev says Desu, and that he lied. Who cares? Okay, now here's the... I'm okay with accepting everybody for who they are. I really am. I just don't want to fucking know about it. I am confident that there are some of my friends who are probably into some weird ass shit. I just don't want to hear about it, and I want to make sure behind closed doors, everything they're doing is consensual. And if it is, that's all I fucking care about. It's very damaging on the internet when someone acknowledging their past deeds and saying, I fucked up, isn't good enough. Because at that point, what do you want these people to do? Kill themselves? Yeah, the whole deplatforming other content creators thing is very weird. The only people who I think deserve to have their platform removed are people who are making, like, very disgusting content like lolly blowjob tier list.
4. It's still legal to own anime and manga child pornography. And let me tell you, it is a booming industry.
I would have never guessed. Wow, are you telling me the creepy, weird shit that people have done for the entire history of people is still creepy and weird and people do it? What a shock. What?
So, as always, I think there's something very disturbing about likening real-life victimization to manga panels, but as always, if you don't like certain aspects of anime or manga or just fictional content generally...
So, this girl needs to understand, and I saying something like this is kind of hard to say because a lot of people can take it in the wrong way. But the reason why it's legal to own a cartoon of something like that versus something that's real is that owning something of it that's real, like actual, like, you know, child sexual abuse material, the reason why it's bad is because if you own things that are real, there is a victim to that thing, and it creates a feedback loop and a reward structure around having that content and then paying for it and then the popularization of that content. That's the reason why owning it is illegal. It's because owning it is effectively a feedback loop for more of it to be created. And more of it being created means more people being victimized. With a cartoon or a drawing, that dynamic doesn't exist. It allows for demand. It does. Don't you think it's a gateway into the real thing? I'm not a fan of lolly stuff. I think it's really weird. Anytime that I see it in an anime, I don't like it. It's that simple. Yeah, I'm not a fan. It's off-putting? Sure. That wasn't a question. Yeah, but that's not the point. I was just explaining the difference between the two things. And to say it's a gateway, I don't know. Here's the way I see it. And I don't want to go too far into this because it's like such a really like polarized discussion, is that I don't think it's the same, but I do think that if I knew somebody who was into lolly stuff, was into it, I wouldn't want them being a babysitter for my young kids. I'll tell you that. I wouldn't want them. And I feel like that's a true, right? It's a true. And the reason why is because we all know. It's understandable, right? I'm not saying they should be in jail, but I do think it's weird.
It's about sexualization and body image in video games. Because the thing is, like, I'm 29 years old and I see anime girls more in video games than I see girls in real life. And I feel like it has to be up my perception of reality.